Hey guys, Ken here from Backpacking Light, and today I'm going to talk about the Osprey Levity. Now this is a much talked about backpack. I think in the beginning there was a lot of hype about it, but then it just kind of ended up in the wrong shops, being sold to the wrong people, being sold by the wrong people. And what I mean by that, it's a very specialty backpack. This isn't something that, you know, somebody who's normally carrying 15 to 20 kilos should be buying, because it just doesn't have that kind of support. Now it does carry 15 kilos, but it doesn't feel very stable. You know, the hip belt starts to wobble a lot, and it just gets really funky when you get up in the weight. But up to, you know, for somebody hiking lightweight on in our shop, the Osprey, I can highly recommend it. Because the people coming to Backpacking Light, they're looking for lightweight equipment, and they're not just trying to replace one thing at a time. For example, you know, in a mainstream shop you might have somebody who's carrying 30 kilos and thinking that getting rid of their 3-kilo backpack is the only thing they need to do. And so they're still carrying 30 kilos just in a lighter backpack, and then it just doesn't hold. And so it's been kind of one of those backpacks where you get a lot of mainstream people using it, but it just doesn't work for them because it can't carry the kind of weights that they're used to. But if you're somebody like me who's carrying for a week trip 7 kilos with food, then the Osprey is hard to beat for price, for durability, and for comfort. And it's a simply fantastic backpack if you're keeping it where it's supposed to be, which is in the lightweight backpacks. So as you can see, this is the Osprey Levity 60, and this just kind of give you an idea of what it looks like when it's on me. I mean, as you can see, even with this puffy on, you can see that there's a nice arcing frame in there. So this is the Osprey Levity, the front here, and you can see it has these two big mesh pockets, and I absolutely love these pockets. In fact, I keep one of my sit pads in one, and I usually keep trash in here. That's normally how I use mesh pockets. Is I'll have a water bottle on one side, I might have my knife, you know, if I'm using a bigger knife, and you know, maybe fuel or something like that in the other, and then I keep my sit pad and trash in the big pocket. And that's pretty much what I use, because I don't like having a whole lot of stuff on the outside of my packs, as that just creates a lot of, one thing, it looks ridiculous, and another, it's stuff that can snag on trees and branches and stuff that can fall off. So I try to keep everything nice and tidy in my backpack. So you can see that even in rain, it just kind of has these nice little holes. Maybe you can't see that. Here you have drainage holes. Even on the side pockets you have that as well. It has these daisy chain that you can easily clip on other things. It does have a cinch top, which, especially when you're working with cold hands, is quite lovely. It's easy to keep this bag watertight. I usually have a nice little pack liner on the inside. Sometimes I use the Sea to Summit pack liners that are quite big and light, and I do like this feature of the pocket where it's not an elastic pocket. Instead it uses this little buckle, and it just cinches in there. And then it has these compression lines. You know, I certainly prefer the compression straps on the Hyperlight mountain gear because it has just that one buckle. Instead, this is like this real thin kind of guy line that's being used in here. Certainly functional, but not my preferred. You've got a nice little pocket up here, the top. I usually have like my kapilka, my little coffee mug, spoon, that kind of stuff, fast access. Now, what makes this backpack special, in my opinion, is the Osprey frame, which, you know, anybody that's carried a Osprey, they know that the Osprey frames are just lovely, and this is no exception. The only difference being is that it's not adjustable like a lot of the Osprey packs are. This nice mesh panel and an aluminum frame here But the difference being on this aluminum frame compared to, for example, the Aether Pro, also an Osprey backpack, is that this is just a really thin aluminum frame. Certainly functional enough for light backpacks, but if you need to put weight, this isn't the backpack for you. So that kind of leads me back to where I started when I said that the Levity is an awesome pack, but it's been sold by the wrong people to the wrong people. Because if you're used to carrying, say, 15 kilos and upwards, this pack's going to be crap for you. It's flimsy. It's going to feel like it's going to break. It's going to, it just doesn't have the kind of sturdiness feel. I mean, everything from the straps to the buckles to the waist belt, everything just feels flimsy in comparison to, again, I'll take the example of the Aether Pro, also an Osprey pack. Well, this one I use for my standard backpacking hikes. Because for me, like right now, even my winter kit, it's not going to weigh more than 10 kilos total. So it certainly carries 10 kilos, even 12 to 13, 14 kilos without an issue. If you're carrying, say, 10 kilos over a week and you're having to go a long distance, it's hard to beat the Osprey Levity. I mean, for comfort, ease of use, everything that it needs to do, it does. And it does it very well, in my opinion. Hey, yo. Hey. Okay. Yeah, so I'm Ken, this Backpacking Light. Hope you enjoyed my review.